Really excited that everyone was able to join us here today with Jordan. So Jordan is obviously a member of the USA Volleyball team that's heading to Tokyo this upcoming Olympic Games. For those that are new on the call, a little bit of her background here. While she was at UC, she was a 3-time unanimous player of the year, her sophomore, junior, and senior year. Her freshman year, she was freshman of the year. She has broken numerous records and accolades here at UC. She owns the all-time kills. She's the all-time career leader in kills. And she was AVCA third team and first team her junior and senior year. She 2019 was a member of the USA Volleyball team that went over and played to secure a spot to play in the Olympic Games. And then she has been a part of the USA Volleyball team for 3 consecutive VNL championships. This is her first trip to the Olympic Games as a member of Team USA. And I'd like to introduce Jordan Thompson to everybody. And so Jordan, I guess to get started and before we open the room for questions, obviously this is something that we've talked about a little bit, you and I, and even with Coach Alvey as a team, just this opportunity of you potentially making the Olympic team. What does it mean for you to now know that you are officially heading over to represent Team USA and play in your first Olympic Games?
Yeah. It's just such an honor, and to be able to represent Cincinnati as well, I think is huge. A lot of people, I think, don't really always look at Cincinnati as a volleyball school necessarily. And so I'm just really honored to be able to represent Cincinnati and prove that you don't have to go to a Big Ten school just to do great things in the sport. And so you can have a lot of success at a school like Cincinnati, and there are great people and a great staff to just, I think, lead you on that journey. And I think that that's been my story. And so it's really special to be at this point in my career so early. And I think it's very surprising for me, but I'm just enjoying every second of it.
Well, I'll speak. I don't think it's surprising, only because I got to watch you and really, I've seen it in you since day one. So it's not surprising to me, but congratulations again.
Thank you.
I guess before I open it up to everyone else too, what is maybe one takeaway that you learned here at UC that could potentially help you as you are preparing to head to Tokyo?
I think just the little things that I've learned, I think that help to take me to the next level and to help me be the best team player that I can be. At Cincinnati, I was always a really fired up player. I always got really excited, and I loved to cheer my team on, whether that was off the court or on the court. And so I think that's something that helps to, I guess, set me apart a little bit. And I think that's helped me to get to where I am today. I think, having that high energy is something that my teammates appreciate, and I like to get people pumped up, and I want to be everybody's biggest cheerleader. And so I've really just tried to bring that into my role on the national team.
That's awesome. All right. So I'm going to open it up now. Keith Jenkins from the Inquirer is up first.
Hey, Jordan, congratulations.
Thank you.
I spoke with Molly earlier, and she had a lot of awesome things to say about you, obviously. If I may ask you a two-parter. One, why UC? Why was that the destination for you? And then also, with every step that you're taking, you really have the entire program on your back. Like the greater you become and the greater things that you do, you're such a great model for success that Molly can build her program on. How important is that for you? So why Cincinnati, and how important is it that you are having this entire program on your back?
I think Cincinnati, just when I got on campus, I don't know. I mean, I think it was everything just coming together, from the campus, the layout of the campus, the school and the program that I wanted to be a part of, the coaching staff, and just the support staff and the team, it just felt like a second home to me. And I think that's really what it became. And I knew that wherever I went to school, I really wanted to start my career as a freshman and really be able to have an impact right away. I didn't want to go somewhere where I wasn't going to see the court maybe until my senior year. I really wanted to get playing time and improve through playing games and playing against other people and other teams. And so I think everything just felt right when I took my visit there. And yeah, it was just a second home from the beginning. And I think to be able to be at this point now where I've had this amazing journey coming out of Cincinnati and now I'm with the national team, it just goes to show, like I said before, that you don't have to go to this Big Ten school to have a really successful career in volleyball. You can go to a smaller school where it's still, you have that big school feel because it is a big school, and you can take your program to do amazing things. I mean, to end my career at Cincinnati with us taking a trip to the Sweet 16, that was something that I don't even know if I thought was possible my freshman year. But then once we got going and we were just building that program, the coaches believed in us so much as a team. And I think it was just, you can do so many special things. And I think that my story really is a testament to that.
Awesome. Tino Bavenzi. I might have botched your name and I'm really sorry about that, Tino. Tino is up.
All right, all good. So Jordan, obviously, making the Olympic team is a dream in itself, right? But what does that mean to you personally? I mean, I'm sure as a little girl, you maybe had a thought of this, but maybe it wasn't a reality. But could you just talk about what that means to you first off?
Yeah. I mean, I remember playing volleyball outside with my cousins in the middle of the street and just falling in love with the sport that way. And I remember we would watch the Olympics and watch volleyball, and I would see players and I'm like, I want to do that one day. And of course I'm like, okay, it's probably not going to happen, but like, that's a great dream to have. And so to get into college and start having just the opportunity to train with the national team in 2019 and making rosters, I think things became a little bit more real for me then. And I don't think at that point, I still couldn't believe it. And so it just means so much because it's something I truly did not think. One, I didn't know if it was ever going to happen, but to be at this point so early in my career it just still blows my mind, because in my game plan that I had, I was like, okay, I just want to get into the national team gym when I'm 25 or 26, and maybe they'll ask me to train with them then. And to be now on the Olympic roster at 24 years old is just, it blows my mind every day. I have to remind myself that this is actually reality. So it's amazing.
And just quick follow-up there on that. I mean, what's your expectations for the team? I think bronze was 2016, right? I mean, gold has got to be the goal.
Yes, gold is definitely the goal. And I think, we had a lot of opportunities to just experiment with lineups and figure out where we were at as a team during our VNL tournament that we just finished in Italy. And I think now we're just fine-tuning things, and I'm really excited to see what we can do in Tokyo. So gold is definitely the goal.
All right. Jaina Bardal is up next.
Hi, Jordan. My name's Jaina. I'm also with the Inquirer. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And sorry, my camera's a little funky, so it's off right now, but I appreciate your time tonight. You mentioned taking from Cincinnati lessons about the little things and, the player you want to be as everybody's biggest cheerleader. I'm wondering if there's been any specific people along your journey as a player, whether that be at Cincinnati or before then or after then, that you've looked up to and you try to take after as an athlete.
Yeah. I think the first person that comes to mind is actually my captain my freshman year of high school. When I made varsity, I was again, not expecting that. And I think that was the first time a coach truly believed in me and believed in my potential and saw potential in me. And so Emma Pichet, she just, I think, instilled confidence in me. And she was the first player to, I think, take me under her wing. And I don't even know if she remembers me anymore, but I always just think of her and how she really helped to just give me confidence as a player and just to believe in myself. And I think she was such a big cheerleader on our team, and she always encouraged us. And so that really stuck with me throughout my whole career.
Awesome. Betsy Ross is up next.
Thank you, Megan. Jordan, congratulations on heading to the Olympics. When you played at UC, you absolutely dominated the court. What have you found is the difference between the collegiate game and the international game?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Obviously, there are so many differences, but I think the biggest thing is that you're playing with women who, like grown women who have been playing the game for like as long as I've been alive. And so you don't have to be the biggest and baddest player and jump the highest, because these women are so incredibly smart and so talented. And so I think it's really taught me that the game isn't always about who's the most physical. And you can outsmart people and outsmart teams. And I think that's just something you don't see as much at the collegiate level. And also just the speed of the game. I remember going from high school to college and thinking, oh my gosh, this is so fast. And then I got in the gym with the national team and they're running probably the fastest offense in the world. And I was like a chicken with my head cut off. And so those are, I think, are the two biggest differences between the professional level and the collegiate level.
And speaking of the Olympic team, you are one of 8 first-timers on this Olympic team. So what have you heard from the veterans about going to the Olympics? Have they talked to you at all about the experience and how to handle it?
We've talked a little bit. I think those of us who haven't been before will ask questions here or there and just, asking what their favorite part is or, kind of what to expect. And I think the most helpful feedback that we've gotten is that there's just a lot going on. You're staying in the Olympic Village and there's media and there's, other sports and stuff like that. So just to be prepared for that. Because when we go to tournaments, we are just with volleyball teams. And so there aren't all these other distractions and things that could keep you up at night or whatever it may be. And so I think that's, as odd as it may sound, the biggest takeaway that I think they've been able to give us. And just the fact that it's such an incredible experience. And they all say, once you do it once, you're going to want to do it again. So that's interesting.
Jordan, thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Justin Williams is up next.
Jordan, this is obviously taking place a year later than it was supposed to. How did that difference in time impact maybe the whole process and your role on the team and maybe your journey to it as well?
Yeah, I think, as a team, we really took this extra year and used it to our advantage. And I think personally, I was a little bit nervous about what this extra year would do in terms of the role that I was going to have and my goal of making the roster. But I think obviously everything worked out, and it was so beneficial to have this extra year because I got another season overseas and I just was able to see the game at this level for a longer period of time. And I think that was just so valuable for me. My last professional season overseas, I was playing as an outside, and then on the national team, I play as an opposite. So I was really nervous coming back to the national team gym this summer and wondering how it was going to look since I haven't played opposite for, I think, almost like 8 or 9 months. And so I was pretty nervous, but I think I was able to just gain confidence as a professional volleyball player and know that I can play at this level and I can have success at this level. And so I think as nervous as I was once I heard the Olympics were postponed for a year, I think it was just so beneficial for me.
Awesome. Caleb is up next. Oh,
Sorry, I was muted there. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Second, I'm curious, have you thought at all about the moment where you walk in, you see the flag, you hear the anthem, and it's like, wow, this is really happening. Like, have you thought about what you're gonna think or feel in that moment, what that's gonna be like?
Yeah, I've tried to imagine it because right now it just still hasn't completely hit me. And I talk with my teammates all the time, and I don't think it's really hit any of us yet. So we're all just wondering what that feeling is going to be like when we step out onto the court and there's the Olympic rings and we're in Tokyo and it's just starts to feel so real. But I think I'm just going to do my best to embrace the moment and not get too overstimulated, but really just take everything in.
Is there a specific thing that you were, you said you had talked to some of your teammates about what it's like being a first timer or whatever. Is there a specific moment or thing that you're most looking forward to?
I'm really excited for the opening ceremonies. I think it might look different because of COVID, but I think that no matter what, it's going to be special. And to be able to hopefully have the opportunity to be around the other Olympic athletes and see just people from the United States representing our country and being so proud to just compete at the highest level, I think it's going to be just something really special to be a part of. And so I'm really, really looking forward to that opening ceremony.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Heather Cox is up next.
Jordan, it's Heather. I'll actually be with you in Tokyo working as a reporter for NBC, so I'm looking forward to it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And are you hearing me okay? Oh, good. It's working. Perfect.
Yes.
You're welcome. I know that you've talked about your age, and I am just a little bit curious to get more insight from you on how you see your age as an advantage, like where it helps you and where it's a disadvantage. Like, are there any examples that you can give us about where age has helped and where it's hurt?
Yeah, I think it's definitely helped in just the sense that I feel energetic and youthful. Not to say that when you're older, you don't have that same energy, but I think everything's just so exciting and new. And so I think that always just brings more energy for me personally. And yeah, so I think definitely my energy. And then I think something where it could potentially hurt me is just, I don't have as much experience as all of our older players, but at the same time, I think I don't necessarily need that right now because we have just, I think a really, we have a 23-year-old, me, 24, all the way up to, I think, 34. And so we have people to back us up where we lack in that experience. And so I think we make up for that lack of experience in our talent and in our energy and the intangibles that we bring to the team. And so I think, that could potentially be something that hurts me, but I think my teammates make that up for me where I lack that experience.
Absolutely. And if you guys don't mind me following up with one more, at what point in your life did you find out and learn about who Karch is? And then kind of what's that journey been like, sort of knowing who he is and all of his volleyball success to actually playing for him?
I don't know if I remember when I found out about who he is and everything. Maybe in college, don't tell him I said that. But maybe as a freshman, or I don't know, maybe my senior year of high school. But I think getting to play for him and learning more about his background and his career and just all of the knowledge that he has been so just amazing. And I think I remember the first time we had a conversation, I was at the USA Open tryout in Colorado Springs, and I remember, I think there was a smaller group training that I was able to be a part of, and he pulled me aside at the end. It was just like, we really like what you're doing, keep it up, blah, blah, blah. Nothing too fancy or special, but I just remember feeling like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, Karch, wow. And so I'm pretty sure I called Coach right after that, Coach Albee, and told her about that because I was just so excited.
I believe it. To me, he's, I'm a lot older than you are, obviously, but he was my Michael Jordan. And I tell people all the time, I was much more nervous the first time I interviewed him than the first time I interviewed Michael Jordan. He's pretty much volleyball royalty.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Jordan. Look forward to seeing you over there.
Yeah.
Neil Meyer from the Front Office News is up next.
Hey, Jordan. First off, congratulations for being selected.
Thank you.
You mentioned the support system you've had from the University of Cincinnati a few minutes ago. Can you just talk about your relationship with Coach Albee and the staff at Cincinnati and how they have helped you become the player you are today and how they have helped you get to the position you're in to be the first ever volleyball player from University of Cincinnati on the big stage representing our country?
Yeah, I think, from day one, they saw potential in me that I didn't see in myself. And I think they just pushed me every day in practice to draw that potential out and just to help show me just what I was capable of. And I think just to have coaches like that, you can't go wrong. They're the best coaches in college volleyball, and they just, our relationship off the court even, I think, just helped me become a better player and a better person. There were so many life lessons that Coach taught me, and, she was there for me with whatever I needed. And so I think when you have that relationship with your coaching staff off the court, once you get on the court, there's just complete and total trust. And so I know what they're telling me and the direction that they're giving me is always for my betterment. And so I think, I hit the jackpot with them, and I'm just so thankful for everything that they've done for me and the rest of our staff at Cincinnati. Everybody has always been so good to me and has always pushed me to be better and to be my best and to reach my potential. And I think it's just, where I'm at now is because of people at Cincinnati and Coach White and Coach Kevin just pushing me every day.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
George Vogel from Channel 5 is up next.
Hey, Jordan, thanks for doing this. Congrats. Number one, your family has had a lot of success. Your uncle, your dad, all that. Where does this rank in the family? What do they make of this? This might trump everything they've done, right?
Yeah, I think, my whole family has been so supportive and obviously really proud. And so I'm happy to kind of carry this legacy of athleticism on and try and do my part to hold that up in the family. But I think, the support I've had from them and being able to talk to my dad, who's played overseas professionally, has been so huge throughout my career so far, because he gets it and he knows the ins and the outs. And so whenever I'm struggling with something, I can call him and he's like, yep, that was the exact same for me. And so it's really special to be able to have that bond with my dad. And my uncle is no longer here with us, but I know is definitely very proud. And when I was in high school, he was always so supportive, and throughout college and stuff like that, he was always so supportive. And so I'm just really thankful for all of their support.
And one quick follow-up, 3 female athletes from UC will be in the Olympic Games, one with the Canadian soccer team, Annette throwing the hammer for Nigeria. How's that make you feel, and what does that say about things that are going on over there in Clifton?
It makes me so incredibly excited. And again, it just goes to show the talent that comes out of Cincinnati and the staff that we have there and what we are capable of as a university. And I think there's just so much more to come out of Cincinnati. And there's so much talent going in, so there's only greatness coming out. And I'm just so excited for them, and I can't wait to cheer them on. I reached out to Annette a couple weeks ago and just let her know that I was supporting her. I'm so excited for her. And so it's just, I mean, it's incredible. And I think to be able to all be there at the same time, I hope that we get to cross paths, because that would be really special.
Thank you. Good luck and have fun there.
Thank you.
Gary Miller is up next.
Hey, Jordan, congratulations. Thanks for doing this. Obviously, you met your husband, Blake, who was playing football for the Bearcats. What kind of inspiration and support system has he been for you, and will he be able to join you over there in Tokyo?
Yeah, unfortunately, he won't be able to be with me in Tokyo, just with the COVID restrictions. Otherwise, I'm sure he would be there. He has been my biggest fan throughout all of this. And I told him before we started dating, I was like, I want to pursue volleyball as a profession. And he was like, I'm with you. I'm supporting you 100% of the time. And so he's been really huge. I've definitely leaned on him a lot, and he's kind of been my sounding board and been there for me every step of the way. He was over in Turkey with me while I was playing there this past season. And so again, to have, you know, somebody who knows sports and who understands the struggles and the highs and the lows, that's been really special for just to have him with me through all of this. And he's been so supportive.
Keith Jenkins from the Inquirer is up again.
Hey, Jordan, so I'm curious, as someone who really took full advantage of her opportunity in college and carved out a great name for yourself and has led to all of these amazing things for you, the name, image, and likeness thing, I mean, that's something that you really could have taken advantage of while you were in school. Do you have any thoughts on now how college athletes can now take advantage of their work on the field and how they can make some money off of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really exciting for athletes. You know, being a student athlete, it's difficult to try and balance a job and athletics and school. I never even tried because I knew that was going to be really, really difficult. And so I think for athletes to have that opportunity to have another avenue of income to support not only themselves, but their families, I think it's going to be huge. And I think it's honestly about time. I don't know that it's necessarily always been, I guess, I feel like maybe some rules in the NCAA haven't always been the most fair in that sense, because I think the athletes do so much, and, you know, there are just a lot of roadblocks to just trying to support yourself and your family and survive in college, because it's difficult. And so I think that's really huge. And I'm just excited for the opportunities that athletes are going to start having now.
Brandon Seho is up again.
Hey, Jordan, I was just curious where you're training and when did you guys leave for Tokyo?
Yeah, so we're training in Anaheim, California, right by Disneyland, actually. And we'll leave for Tokyo on July 17th.
What's kind of the next couple of weeks look like then? Are you guys just training all there and just take me through the schedule, I guess, if you can?
Yeah, so we train Monday through Friday. We'll have our lift in the morning and then practice. And so right now we'll just continue training until we leave. And I think our training block will look pretty much the same as usual. And so I think it's really nice. Our coaches do a really good job of taking care of us and not running us into the ground with 2-a-days and 3-a-days. And so we get all of our work done in the morning, and we have the rest of the day to recover, relax, watch some film, and have some time to ourselves, which we don't always get overseas. And so our schedule is it's really nice here. And obviously to be in sunny California, that's pretty nice too.
Neil Meyer from Front Office News is up again.
Hey, Jordan, we briefly talked about your historic 2019 tournament run. Outside of that, what are some of your other favorite memories as a UC Bearcat volleyball player?
I mean, that one really was so huge. I think just beating Pitt, that was really, really exciting. I just remember being a little bit nervous because we had faced them in preseason, and I knew that they were a really, really strong team. And so I knew that we were going to have a really good game and just, play our best. And I think we did that. And I just remember that last point, setting Maria Mallon back row. And I was so nervous. I was like, please just get a kill. And Maria did, she got the kill, but I'll never forget that moment. And it's just burned into my mind in the best way possible. And just being able to celebrate with the team in the locker room after that was so special, and to have the coaches come in and we're all just jumping around, super excited. I think that's something I'll never forget.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Caleb is up again.
Hey, Jordan, I'm just curious if you've gotten to go to Disneyland next door.
No, I wanted to go in 2019, but I was in college, so I didn't have any money to go. So that's when the whole NIL stuff might have been convenient, have some extra cash to go. But yeah, I haven't been able to go. And because of COVID and stuff, I didn't want to risk it this summer. So I'm hoping next summer is my chance to finally go to Disneyland.
Or hopefully they're saying what after the end of the game, we're going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Heather Cox from NBC Sports is up again.
Jordan, I'd love to hear your feelings on the biggest differences and adjustments from going, from playing outside to opposite, biggest challenges, biggest adjustments.
Yeah, I think naturally I feel more comfortable just with the all-around game as an opposite. You just have less to focus on. You don't have to worry about passing. Defense in the back row is a lot easier for me to read in right back than it is in middle back as an outside. And so I think the opportunity to play outside this past season overseas in Turkey was really, really good because I learned to see the game a lot better. And I think attacking has always been okay for me on both sides. I don't think I struggle on one side more than the other when it comes to attacking, but I think to have the opportunity to play outside just really helped my game overall. And then going back to the opposite with the national team, like I said, I was really nervous, but I think it was honestly just like riding a bike. It definitely took a while to get comfortable again with just swinging, having the ball travel across and reach my right arm is different than being able to just attack on the outside. But I think it's something that comes really natural to me, being on the opposite. And so I think it was a pretty seamless transition back, as opposed to trying to go from opposite to outside is a little bit tougher for me.
And do you think that's rare? Do you feel like most righties would actually say that it's just as easy on the right as it is on the left, having to kind of turn your body away from the court? Do you think that's a rare spot for you to say that it's just as easy on both sides?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I think obviously if you're a lefty on the opposite, that's probably where you feel most comfortable. But yeah, I think just from playing opposite, starting when I was younger in high school, I think that really helped me to just feel really comfortable there. So I don't know I think a lot of people would probably say swinging on the outside as a right-handed player would probably be easier or more comfortable. But yeah, I feel really comfortable on both sides, which is nice.
That's awesome. And then my last question, do you know of any plans that your family or your husband have for watch parties, or how they're going to view you playing in Tokyo?
I'm not sure yet. I think they're probably coming up with some plan. My mom had mentioned that they wanted to have a viewing party at her house, but I'm not really sure. I know a lot of my family has told me that they want to do something and have some sort of viewing party, but I'm not really sure where they'll gather yet. But I know they're planning something.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we've got one more question from Tino Bovenzi.
I just wanted to touch on this COVID protocols because you said things are tighter. You can't have people come. But what's your philosophy with, have you been vaccinated? Or how do you plan to keep yourself protected, the health of the team, so on? Because say somebody does go down with COVID, somebody's got to step up or, that whole challenge and dynamic. So what's your philosophy on that, how you're going to attack it?
Yeah, so I think, I guess our approach as a program, I'm pretty sure all of us are vaccinated fully by now. And we just want to keep our bubble really tight. And so we've all been taking extra precautions. Not when we go, if we want to go out to eat, we're always outdoors 6 feet apart from other people who are eating. And we're always wearing our masks and stuff like that when we're outside of the gym. And so we've tried really, really hard and we've been really successful so far in keeping our bubble really tight and COVID free. And so I think, we're doing everything that we can to stay safe, and we're definitely just trying to do our part and not get COVID because, it's unfortunate that just a positive test, whether you have symptoms or not, could prevent you from playing at the Olympics. But we know that that's the reality. And so we're trying to do everything we can to steer clear of that.
Thank you.
I guess speaking on that, Jordan, have they given you guys any protocols ahead of heading to Tokyo on what you can and can't do once you're over there?
Not yet. We haven't heard a ton about what it will necessarily be like in the Olympic Village. We know that there will definitely be like some sort of, I don't know how to describe it. I don't want to say tracking because that sounds so terrible, but just for like social distancing and making sure that if we were next to somebody, just I guess for like contact tracing is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so we know that the process of getting into Japan is going to be a little bit difficult. There's just a lot of different things that we're going to have to be prepared for, and documents and COVID testing, I think 3 days out, then 2 days out, and then once we get there. So there's a lot that goes into just getting there. And I think that's what our focus is on right now. And then once we are into Japan, I think we'll figure out more what it's going to be like in the village.
Awesome. Well, on that note, we are done for the evening with Jordan. I do want to say thank you for joining us today, Jordan, and taking the time to talk with us. I've always enjoyed listening to you. So I really enjoyed hearing you and just getting to hear like how everything's going and all your thoughts.